in the top left here. Currently up 1 in the series. The little warrior himself. This is Reynor. And in the bottom right in the blue, still looking to put a score on the board, but he could do it here. This is Jidder Greenwings' trap.
I'm expecting more of the same when it comes to the young Italian. There's no need for him to really drastically change things up. That's the way that he has been playing ZVP for the majority of the year, I'd almost say. Trap, of course, I am expecting to switch it up a little bit. This is, of course, a very different map. Unlike Thunderbird, you don't only have one entrance into your first 3 bases. So in general, you're going to be forced to play a little bit differently. Because if you go too greedy, you can literally lose Nexus to a bunch of Zerglings and stuff like that.
I completely agree with you. It just seems like Reynor needs to play safe, and Trap needs to be the one to keep him guessing to try and catch him with his hand in the cookie jar. But it's so much easier said than done in this matchup with things like Overlord speed and just Reynor's Ling, constant harassment with Lings, his Ling run-bys into mains and whatnot. It's so hard to hide anything on this Italian kid.
Yeah, but I think the last game also shown us that Reynor has grown as a player, because yes, we know that he loves his Ling run-bys and he's one of the very best in the business to do so, but a lot of Zerg players are very good at that, and Thunderbird is not a good map for that. So it would be very unwise to randomly make 40 Zerglings and just desperately try to run into 3 bases, right, over and over again. On this map, a little more likely, so there's a chance we'll see a little more aggression out of the young Italian. But in the last game, there was no need to do it. It's not a good map for it, so then just don't do it.
Exactly. You only really can do Ling run-bys once you get to the 4th base. On this map, a lot of Protosses want to expand on the high ground there, but if you go on the low ground, there is, of course, an opening, and if the 3rd base is a little bit of an more open choke point for Zerg to make something happen with the run-by, but at the moment, we are just seeing a complete standard play from both players. Hatch, Gas, Pool, Protoss also, Gate, Nexus, Cybercore, and going to see what the strategies round out here. Looks like potentially a Stargate opening again. Give a trap. Stargate just gets put down. Warpgate being delayed ever so slightly.
If you could have it your way, Maynard, what would you love to see out of Trap?
Honestly, a ton of gateways, charge, and they're just making a nice big A move right through his throat.
Okay.
You asked, I'll tell you.
Why did I even ask? We'll see. We're going to see some more Stargate usage this game.
A second Stargate, potentially. I mean, the game 5 between a laser and Trap on this map was the one where he did the second Stargate.
Yep, it was on this map that he busted out the double Stargate Phoenix. And I think it's a build that I'm obviously a massive fan of. It's not something you can do every single game at this level, because then players who are as good as Reynor, they're going to blind counter their living hell out of you, and then everything is going to be bad. It's the first Phoenix, we'll see where he takes it, but it could also just be Phoenix into the traditional triple Oracle that we know that he loves so much and he's so damn good with.
And Reynor's really, really good at defending it as well on the other side of the map. So we got the first couple of depths here from Trap, going out there for a little bit of map control, see what the Zerg is up to, potentially get some drone kills. I think Reynor started Overlord speed and then cancelled it, or it might be completed here. He's got Ling speed just about done.
It's kind of a slow Overlord.
Yeah, it's definitely a slow Overlord.
Maybe he just can't find the right gear. It's like, I'm stuck in the first.
Stuck in first. I'm right in the clutch. All right, Overlord's gone down. And he did cancel that Overlord speed quite deliberately, I'm sure. Happy with the getting information. And just a little bit of drone damage, but losing 2 Adepts does sting.
Yeah, 2 Adepts for 2 drones, I think in general is a trade that Protoss players are not very happy with. Yes, he forced out a Spore Crawler as well, but this is not really it. I'm always a bit shocked when I see players at this caliber seeing their Adepts split up, right? Like, that just means more surface area for these Zerglings to attack those 2 Adepts. In general, you always want to keep them together and tuck them between those mineral patches.
We gotta see Reynor lock down the safety here against the Stargate plays. Ling's coming on that front line. This is a little bit annoying for Trap. He does have his Adepts there holding that front door, but these Oracles trying to get some drone damage are getting battered back by the Queens. Oh, Ling's sneaking on through. That's what I'm talking about. The Lings always just seem to get in here for Reynor.
Yeah, I think he was forced to cancel that battery because you don't really want to wall yourself in. But this kind of stuff is very awkward. The Oracle Phoenix opening didn't really do any damage. He lost the Adepts. This may have seemed like a game where not too much has happened yet, but I'm sure that Trap is very unhappy with it. Look at the amount of money that Trap has right now. 900 minerals. That's not the amount of minerals you ever want to see in your bank in this phase in the game.
Yeah, floating over 1,000 right now. Trap really a little shaky at this point. I mean, what do you do when you have a bank like this? Do you try and just take the later 3rd Nexus? I guess
oh my goodness.
Go down. Oh, Trap Oh, he's having a rough one, Roddy. This series has been very, very rough for the Protoss so far.
Yeah, it seems when it rains, it pours in this game. The Lings are being annoying, the macro wasn't working out, the openings weren't there for the Stargate units, the adepts early on didn't really work out. He's still, I mean, he is going up to 3 bases, but down 7 workers and already losing an Oracle.
And finding it tough to spend his money, you know, he hasn't exactly got production or anything like that. It's just that his build got messed with by that Ling run by.
And that Twilight and Forge feel late as well, no?
Mm.
It's gonna take a long time before we're gonna see some Archons out, maybe Storm down the line. I mean, last game, it's kind of funny how this whole dance between like Ravager, Bane, and like the Archons and Immortals and Storm, yes or no Storm, right, works. There's Oracles in...
That's very deep, but
yeah.
it should survive. Queen's going for the injection. Spore did soften it up.
I really feel that the Zergs have leveled up. It's like, if they don't go Storms, should I still make Banelings? Yes, just a lot more, you know? Exactly. Instead of having the 15 Banelings, if I just make 45 Banelings, I can blow up Archons, because they can blow up anything if they can just connect. And in the last game, well, they were able to connect. And of course, you can say that Trap could have maybe spaced his units out a little bit better. But then the downside of like spacing your units out too much is that Lings can get full surrounds on those Protoss units. And then they also die quicker, right? So it's kind of pick your poison. Like, do I clump them up and be bad against Banelings, or do I spread them out a lot and be very vulnerable and susceptible to Zergling surrounds?
We had that conversation with Reynor where I'm like, oh, how do you deal? Well, Cyril and I were asking, how do you deal with that mass Archon play? It's like Banelings. We both looked at him and went, what? Yeah. But of course, game 1 showed us that it's exactly how you deal with it. Very, very nice. We are seeing the Templar Archives come down here. A pretty standard follow-up here for Trap. Just feels like it's a little bit slow.
Yeah, of course. I mean, he was thrown off, right? Oh no, Trap is going to lose his second Oracle as well here.
We're just praising his Oracle control, but it just seems like he's not quite himself right now.
Maybe nerves, maybe.
Yeah.
It's hard to point, but obviously Reynor is playing just excellent, right? In this entire best of 5. Reynor is maybe looking forward to a date with Cero in the semifinals, but we're not there yet, and I would never count a man like Trap out. He has made miraculous comebacks in the past. Going into Storm a lot quicker. He's like, all right, if you're going to make that amount of Banelings, I just need Storm. There's no other way to deal with this.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. He needs splash damage against an army like this when he's not really got that front line of those big heavy hitting Archons, all those hit points. Hallucinated Phoenix is getting a look in. Seeing the Spire is important here for Trap. Of course, he already has a Stargate. But just having that information is really important here because you've got to keep on top of these tech switches from the Zerg. 9 mutas on the way here for Reynor.
Yep, Phoenixes are being produced right now for Trap. That's an interesting choice by Reynor. We've seen it obviously quite a bit in the past in this matchup. It can work. You don't want to lose that.
Oh boy.
You don't want to lose those, Trap, because you're going to need those to defend against the mutas.
Feels like he's lost about 500 gas to these 3 queens here.
Yep. Obviously, Reynor is going to go back into Roaches behind all of this. He's also dropping the Infestation Pit, so he can go into the Spire. He can go into Brood Lords much later. But I think there's a realistic opportunity for these mutas to not only be annoying, but get some damage done as well. Completely
agree with you. The Phoenix count is just not impressive right now. There's the first wave of mutas. They are flying on in, and there's a bit more than Trap probably expected here. He does have the Prism with the Archons in it, and a couple Phoenixes, so good control. He is pushing them away from his production at the moment. And there are some units sort of waiting for him in that low ground. Not a ton of them shoot up, though. Just the Archons and the Sentries.
Yeah, Reynor really does want to get something out of these mutas, and he's going to find a couple of probes. Finds a Phoenix that just popped as well. Doesn't immediately kill it. Will still be able to kill it in the end because Trap didn't actually truly send it away. And I think these mutas could be in some trouble. They may finally go down soon, but they've already done more than I thought they would.
Trying to get another Phoenix here. He's actually losing a few of these mutas. You know, mutas are relatively expensive, but he is finding damage. Meanwhile, Reynor from the north. Nice force fields from Trap for the most part. A little bit of an opening on the left, though. Oh, those Banelings are finding that chewy inside of this crunchy exterior of Protoss, and they've done so much damage.
And the Muta's actually helping out here as well. They can activate the barriers of those Immortals. They're adding some decent DPS as well. There's still quite a bit of Zerg. I like that little squad of Trap on the north side. That could be enough, but Trap cannot go out too far. The Lings could be a problem here, even though we see a couple of Zealots running in as well.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That's a lot of Lings.
I would go back.
More on the way. Yeah, got to pull back to that 4th Nexus.
Yep.
Let's get another warp in around here. So both players trading a fair bit of army right there, and the dust is settling at the moment. Reynor on 90 workers right now, by the way, as that hive gets close to finishing up.
Yep, and he's going to end up losing his last 2 mutas here, but that's kind of the story, right, of game 1 as well and game 2. Reynor doesn't even have to take the absolute best fights. Reynor just needs to make sure that Protoss army stays small, because he's outmining his opponent by quite a bit.
Yeah, it does on paper seem pretty rough for Trap. He's down a lot in supply. He does have that 4th Nexus. Contaminate there on the robotics facility. It's cute, but Banelings coming in from the north. They're going to hit these cannons first. The probe pullback, quite nice from Trap, actually.
Yep.
taking relatively little damage.
The +2 wasn't ready yet, but it is about to finish up. So the next time this happens, once again, every single Baneling can kill multiple probes. And that's where it becomes really important for the Protoss to pay attention and make sure that they don't connect. That's quite a quick lead beacon, right? All things considered, this has not been a game that I'd be very happy with if I was Trap. I'd feel quite stressed out, I'd feel worried, but he's already getting a beacon.
Going to carrier right now, I guess, the follow-up plan for Trap, but it's going to be so expensive. Baneling's looking for those probes, get 4 there. And a little bit of a scuffle up there on that high ground. Another run by Dead Archon here, going to go down. Static defense not going to be enough. Warp into Trap to try and slow down those Banelings. The probes are getting stuck and stacked up a little bit here, but he does actually keep most of them alive.
Wow, I can't believe he didn't lose more probes. They're only losing 5. That is very impressive. Still defending this port base as well. Trap is playing a lot better in the last minute and a half of this game. The shame is that the first 7 or 8 minutes really did not work out at all.
Yeah, he's gone from a lot of money to not much here. He started the Mothership first here.
It's good against just Banelings, right? Like if you can just cloak your High Templars, you can cloak your Immortals, it's really good. But I don't think Reynor is just going to keep rolling Banelings into this main army. The Great Aspire has now been started, and Reynor is just looking for more and more economic damage.
Yeah, he's trademark run buys. He's not stopping. He's got plenty of money in the bank, so why not throw a few lings away? Just realizes that he has enough to actually take a decent trade here against these Zealots. He doesn't have Adrenal, but he does have +2 and a lot of lings, so he gets a few of them before he pulls back.
The first Tempests are already being produced before the Great Aspire is even done, so at least when it comes to that part of the game, Trap is going to be ready for the first wave, right? Like, but where do you go after? What do you do if Reynor doesn't attack? Are you going to attack? Are you going to step on creep? I mean, these are questions that we have to ask ourselves, but I mean, I must say Trap has done a good job in the last 2-3 minutes of still turning this into a game, because it started to look really rough, but he's defending right now like his tournament life depends on it, and that's not totally the case yet, but nobody wants to go down 0-2.
Absolutely not. Every single map matters so much at this, the biggest tournament of the year here for StarCraft 2. We've got those Tempests, like you mentioned, still in production, 2 and 2x2 here, but as we can see in the production tab for the Zerg, Pathogen Glands on the way, Infesta, Broodlord not far away, and Reynor going double Spire even for double upgrades on those air units.
Yep. More Banelings morphing, getting those upgrades. Oh, High Templars!
There we go.
Oh, that's nice. I like the SimCity there as well. Good warp in there by Trap. Clutch warp in.
Yeah, very nice. Good defense here from the Protoss. Of course, when it comes down to going across the map, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. The Banelings like to connect with those High Templar, but they turn into an Archon just in time. Yep. Just losing Zealots is actually okay here.
Trap's just seeming a little more on the money right now, right? It seems like he's finally finding his rhythm. We don't see any random units being sacrificed anymore. He's saving units when he can. The probe saves were excellent. He's even stepping on creep now. I mean, there's a lot.
Play.
Yeah, there's definitely a ballsy play. There's a couple of Root Lords here. I mean, maybe?
I mean, there's no Infestus just yet. Oh, the Banelings found that opening. Grabs attention on the other side of the map. There goes 18 probes, and the Lings running by into the natural as well. Very annoying for Trap here, taking a big 8-com damage. He does still have a scary army on the front line, so if Trap can make a big counterattack here and find some counter damage, his game's going to stay alive, but it doesn't look amazing here.
No, he needs way more than he's getting so far. He's going to drop a couple of storms, and yes, they are connecting with links, but he needs more. That's the danger of moving out as well, right? It's like, yeah, it's cool that you're pushing back the creep, but can you still defend as well as you did in the last 3 minutes? No, you can't if the units are out of position. I mean, you got to give it to Reynor. Obviously, he's there immediately with the run by in the natural, and that did not work out. And every second that goes by now is 1 second that I think Reynor is very happy with, and Trap is going to be less happy with, because those Infestors that you mentioned, Maynard, they're coming.
They're out. They're here. And they're ready to complement those Broodlords. And it's just pretty tough here for the Protoss to deal with that. Corrupt is coming on forward. If Fungal goes down those units, detecting them, doing some splash damage as well. Storms on those Lings, pushing that ground army of the Zerg back. The Mothership's got to go down, and this army of Trap is surrounded by Zerg. He's going to try and stand and fight here with the Archon. He does still have some Storm energy as well for these Corruptors. The Tempest will get picked off, though.
Yep, it just takes a lot of Storms, right? Reynor needs to get those Corruptors out of there. There's no need to offer them. I mean, Trap actually still surviving with quite a few units on the ground. So Reynor is now spending that bank that he's built up for a long time.
A lot of Archons.
Yep, I see no Storm here, but just those Archons, they're going to be good against the Lynx. Just 1 or 2 Broodlords right now would complicate things a lot. But maybe Trap can get a base, maybe even the Great Aspire.
Maybe even get the Broodlords before they're done. Trap coming forward with those Archons, and the Immortals doing incredible damage into the Sanctuary. The Lynx coming down to push that Protoss back. Reynor needs these Broodlords to hold on. He's going to take a lot of damage here. That Charge Lot coming in for the side here. 14 drones and the base goes down.
I feel like if he gets the Great Aspire here, this is massive for Trap. Trap wants more. I think he just wants the game, but I would have settled for the Great Aspire.
He's turning and firing on it now. little bit late to the party, but getting it is a nice pick-off. There is a second Spire for Reynor as well. Did that go down?
Yep, but that's, no, I don't think that went down yet. Bailing Nest, that's also a very big pick-up. He recalls, no, yeah.
No!
Oh,
Zealots, get in there!
Oh.
Get in there! Get in there! Get it done! No! Oh, man, the Greatest Spire is off creep, so it is going to start to bleed out, but of course he can spread it a little bit.
Oh, that would be funny.
Doesn't have a transfuse just yet. Okay, some high energy queens coming in. They're going to save that thing.
That
sucks.
He dropped the transfuse as well, right before the end, when the main army was still there. Dropped only a single transfuse, but it was enough to keep it alive. The Zealots were a bit indecisive.
Well, the reason why I was asking about that second Spire is worst case scenario, Reynor can use some of his money to get that second Greatest Spire down, but it does slow down the Broodlords. And the Zerg is not very rich right now, so a good fight for the Protoss definitely can snowball, but it's gotten to that point again where it's going to be tough for the Protoss to attack.
This is where Reynor realized he's losing his Baneliness, or he lost his Baneliness. He's like, oh, I can morph these Zerglings into Banelings? I guess
lost his Infestors as well, actually.
Yep.
Seeing one more in production here, but there's not too many out in the field at the moment for the Italian Zergs. Primarily Broodlords. This air army is still quite scary. So we have Viper, just a 4 Infestor hit squad here for Reynor, which just isn't huge at the moment.
This is kind of cool though, the double prism going into the main base. I don't know if maybe the Hive, maybe the Infestation Pit.
At least the Zealots in here.
He's rebuilding the Baneliness. Well, that one is not going to finish up, so...
And Trap going to put some hurt on the Zerg side of the map here as he goes towards that 5th Nexus to the south, 6 o'clock base. And in come those prisms. Now, Reynor's air army isn't too far away, so he's moving it intercept. That's a lot of Zealots. He's going to warp in more here.
Wow. That's actually kind of cool. I mean, the Baning Nest does get sniped, no cancel on that. A couple of Zealots will go down.
That's wonderful for Trap.
And he's buying time, right? Like, Trap can actually get some more stuff going. I wouldn't mind seeing +2 air weapons, for instance. Like, if this game is going to go long, you want to go those air upgrades. They're very important.
Oh, going for the spawning pool here. That's also very annoying, as Reynor loves his Zerglings. You can't get anywhere near Banelings if you don't have any links. So getting those spawning pools quite nice, because that means less static defense, less spore crawlers, all the things that the Zerg wants to do to slow this game down so they can get those spell casters and broodlords up.
Are there no corruptors on the map at all? There are 5.
Just 5, not that many.
They're with the main army.
It's like a lot of Archons would be very, very scary here. Just some of those Tempests helping out against the Broods.
120 army supply for Reynor. Reynor is maxed out once again, but it's very heavy on the links, and because he hasn't had a Baneling nest in quite some time, he doesn't have the same amount of Banes as he had before. Well, actually, he has 0 Banes.
That is a problem. So at least Trap knows these probes are going to be safe for quite a while. Those Infestors are getting pretty high in energy here. More and more Archons coming in. I love just a heavy amount of Archons for Trap. I think that's a brilliant idea against what we're seeing right now. They're very hard to slow down, and if they can get anywhere near the Corruptors and obviously the Infestors, they will mow through them. +3 attack on the way for Trap. Feels like these upgrades have been a little slow. Alright, Roach is coming in with some lings here. They find that 5th Nexus.
One pylon. I mean, you can just go for the pylon here, and that makes your life a little bit easier. Reynor realizing that as well. All of these cannons are going to get unpowered. I'm not sure where the army is. The army is all the way on the right top
Free
side.
power with the Prism.
Yeah,
why not?
Can do that.
He's bringing the Stalkers. Looks like he's going to be able to shield defense here at least.
Don't forget that Neuro Parasite is on.
Whoa! It was an offensive recall. Where's this recall going to go to? It's going everywhere. The Vipers have pulled the mothership out of position.
What?
Was this actually a good play?
I don't know if this is good. I mean, the Broodlords are very exposed. The Archon's got a couple of shots off. The Tempests are just going crazy. I have no idea what we're watching.
The Archons are doing incredible damage down here on the low ground. Immortals and Archons in the main picking up the Corruptors. The Tempests have picked up the Broodlords. What are we watching right now?
Neuro Parasite kicking in now as well. So a couple of these Archons are attacking the Immortals at this point. I've seen a lot of StarCraft fights in my life. I've never seen that fight.
And I mean, offensive recalls and motherships are rare, but an offensive recall on a mothership that's in the middle of it, a Viper, yoink, even rarer. What a crazy moment there in this game. Reynor does have a fair bit of money. He's going to try and replenish that army supply, but Trap's not going to give him space. He's coming forward with reinforcements.
The more you space out, though, the better the Zerglings become, right? And that's kind of what's happening here. The Lynx are getting some fantastic surface area on all of these Archons, and just gateway units are not going to cut it here. The War Prism is going to try to save the day, but that's not going to be enough either.
Down goes the Prism, and Rainor's reinforcements more than enough to hold on here. He pushes Trap back, grabbing an Tempest for himself. Why not? Filing that down, and Trap has only 7 army supply left in this game.
That was such a wild fight, man. Like I said, I've seen a lot of StarCraft fights in my life. I've never seen that one. But the more spaced out it gets, the better those Zerglings become. And these Zerglings, they are as feisty as they will ever be. +3 Adrenal glands. So if the Lynx can surround Protoss units, those Protoss units just disappear so quickly.
And there is not enough money in the bank and not enough production here for Trap to get that convincing army again. It's going to be... I just don't see how he steals this game away from Reynor anymore. It feels like Reynor's done everything right off the offset of that defense.
Yep. And I mean, that 5th base went down as well, right? On the bottom side of the map, 6 o'clock. So that was a massive loss. We have a little bit of long distance mining now, but it seems that Prep is all out of steam.
Gee.